Revealing that I cheated on my girlfriend isn't the way to win people over, but that's what happened one November evening. I had just finished a few Grey Goose sodas with an older woman who made it clear that despite me being in a relationship, her interest in taking me back to her place was alive and well. "Why else do you think I'm here?" she mentioned before throwing back her second shot of Patron. The liquor helped fight off the cold front that was taking over Minnesota as the state prepared for another winter. After finishing our drinks and splitting the bill, we got in my car and drove to her house a few minutes away. My feet sloshed through the wet snow, quickly hitting my toes and bringing about waves of uncertainty. Feelings of nervousness and guilt swirled through my head. But still, I was ready to end my relationship for the temporary pleasure that was to come. "Take off your shoes," the woman instructed once we got inside. I walked into her living room. Her 2 kids were hanging out, neither of them particularly fond of my presence. Their reactions suggested they had seen this act before. I wanted to puke. It was pathetic that I was standing here when my girlfriend was only a short drive away. "You guys have a good night," the woman told her kids, kissing each of them on the forehead. Then she grabbed my hand and led me up to her room. After turning on the TV, we awkwardly laid on her bed while my conscience put me in a vice grip. Having sex with this 35-year-old mother of 2 would not make me a better person. Doing so would brand me a cheater. Infidelity was an act I despised, yet that couldn't repress the desire that coursed through my blood and settled into an all-familiar part of my body that had no idea how to distinguish emotion from logic. "What do you want to watch?" the woman asked as she flipped through a few channels. "I don't care," I responded. The larger issue was debating with my skewed morality, while in the confines of this bed. The woman then moved closer, and soon we began making out. It wasn't long before her hands started to explore my body. I took her shirt off. She had a fantastic butterfly tattoo on her belly button. She went for my belt, and it was at that point I thought how wrong all this was. I rolled over onto my back. I couldn't do this anymore. "I have to go," I told her, then quickly shuffled downstairs, past her kids, before hurriedly putting my shoes on and vanishing into the night. I knew nothing would ever be the same as I drove home. I'm not the type of person who can conceal something like this. I'd rather reveal the hard truth and be hated than trapped inside the misery of knowing my brain possessed information that needed to be shared. "We need to talk," I told my girlfriend the next morning. That was one of the last conversations she and I would ever have. Fast forward to the present. 6 months later,